Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video, so bear with me. I just felt like it was a very important topic and I wanted to get my story out there. So, the Mirena IUD. I got my IUD placed over 2 years ago, December 2018. It was kind of an impulsive decision. I was about to lose my health insurance and I had been on the pill for like 8 years. And I was 25 in a serious relationship, not ready to have kids. So I talked to my doctors. They pushed it a lot. They thought it would be great for me and, you'll either lose your periods or have light periods and, you won't even notice it. You don't even have to think about it. Sounded great, honestly. So I got it placed and, at first I thought everything was great. I lost my period immediately. I, maybe spotted for like a day after insertion. And that was it. I know people have many different experiences with that, but like I didn't have a period anymore. I wasn't getting pregnant. Like it was all great. And I did have side effects that started creeping up, but I never put 2 and 2 together because I just wanted the IUD to work so bad. And the timeline of the side effects kind of like, I don't know, made me think it wasn't the IUD for a while. So without further ado, here we go. The first side effects I started experiencing acne and panic attacks. Those were within a month or 2 of insertion, and they were bad. I've experienced both before in my life, but never on this level. Like I had acne in high school, but like this was like painful, like deep rooted cystic acne that I like nothing would work. It would just keep the same zit would keep resurfacing every month. The panic attacks, I have anxiety. I have an anxiety disorder. But never like this in my life. Like just uncontrollable panic attacks about things that I never thought twice about before. Like I'm in, this amazing, healthy, happy relationship. I was like panicking about if things were to fall apart, like, what would I do? Like I would be devastated. And, I'm in grad school and I would have panic attacks about like assignments, just stuff that never bugged me before. And, I just couldn't figure it out. So like those were the first 2 things that happened. And then as time went on, those kind of subsided. But then the summer of that year, like 6 or 7 months after, I got a UTI. Like a UTI to end all UTIs. It was just horrible, horrible pain. Antibiotics did not work. I tried 3 different antibiotics because doctors just, don't care about antibiotic resistance anymore. I don't know. And I have a lot of anger towards my doctors in this video, which you'll understand. Like when it comes down to it, I was failed, just utterly failed by the healthcare system, many providers. This is not against all doctors at all. No. I am just telling you my experience. I work in the medical field, like, don't get me wrong. But anyways, so like I was given 3 different antibiotics. None of them worked. And that's because it wasn't a UTI. It was pelvic floor dysfunction, which I've never had issues with before. I don't know if the IUD triggered it or what. But I went to PT for it and that's totally fine now. However, 3 months after that, my hair started falling out. Like after the stress of the UTI, the initial UTI kicked in, I just started noticing clumps, like handfuls of hair. It was hands down to this day, like the most traumatizing, persistent, debilitating symptom. Like I just was devastated. I mean, I was 26 at the time it started falling out. Like have my whole life ahead of me with all these special events that I like, engagement, wedding, graduation, like, you know, just life in general. And like my hair was just rapidly falling out. And I would, again, the panic attack started because I didn't know how much more I was going to lose. I didn't know what to do. And so I went to a dermatologist, and, you know, shocking, I was diagnosed with Telogen Effluvium, which I'm sure many of you have heard of or have been diagnosed with, if that's why you're here. Telogen Effluvium is basically short-term, temporary hair loss. So on average, it starts 3 months after a significant trigger, and it lasts for 3 to 6 months, and then it stops, and then your hair grows back. That's what true TE is. In the time of experienced hair loss and all of the people I've talked to in the hair loss community, true TE is a really hard thing to find. There's just so much research that needs to be done on hair loss, and like there's just so many mysteries, and the condition is just wild. Like I would get scalp sensations like tingling, burning, itching, you know, like the hair loss would fluctuate. It would be super oily and then super dry, and it just made no sense. And so, you know, here I am getting told like, oh, you're lucky. It's not, you know, it's not permanent. You're not going to lose all your hair. It'll grow back, whatever. Just hold on tight. Like you can't do anything about it. So 3 months pass, nothing, no change. 3 more months pass. It got worse. It started falling out even more, if possible. Like it was just like very clearly they were wrong. Like the trigger was not the pelvic floor dysfunction bout. Like it was something else. And the only thing I could think of was my IUD. It was the only ongoing trigger. It was the only thing that like changed. And I brought it up to my doctors, and they were all like, nope, IUD can't cause hair loss. At this point, I had been to like 6 specialists, not just for the hair loss, because other issues started as well. So I started experiencing an autoimmune response. All my blood work, the only things that came back abnormal were high ferritin, which usually means inflammation, and ANA markers. My ANA test was positive. And an ANA test is like an inexact blood test to see if you have autoimmune activity going on. It does not diagnose you with anything. Some even like healthy people, there's like a small percentage of people with no autoimmune disorders who test positive for ANA. Like there's a couple of factors that could set it off. I have a strong family history of autoimmune disorders, so my doctor was thinking maybe it's just slightly elevated because you come from, you know, the family background. But like I was like the symptoms I was experiencing, it was very clearly autoimmune. Like you know, not just the hair loss, but the hair texture. My nails were splitting. I had like severe joint pain, dizziness. Every time I stood up, I like thought I was going to black out. God, what else? Like just all of these really small things that were like just noticeable and would get worse and worse. My GI issues flared up. Like I got tested for my thyroid so many times, and my thyroid was totally fine, like full thyroid panel, because TSH doesn't really show, thyroid disease. But yeah, nothing came up on my thyroid, and even though it just felt like it could very well be my thyroid, the only thing was the ANA. So I just kept digging. I kept finding more doctors. I cannot afford this. I am in a lot of medical debt. Like, don't get me wrong. The healthcare system here is just insane. And finally, I found this Facebook group for IUD support in September of last year. And it just all hit me. Just all these people commenting the various side effects, just like all of the things I was experiencing. It was so validating to find these other women out there that were going through the same thing. I brought it up to my doctors. At this point, 12 doctors, and none of them thought it could be the IUD, yet again, which is just insane to me. But I pushed to get it out anyways because I was convinced, and even if I was wrong, it was the only thing I hadn't tried, and I just had to try. So I got it removed October 27th, so I am 3.5 months post-removal right now. My life is drastically better. Like, serious, I did not even realize, like, I felt crappy. I did not realize how crappy I felt, like, every single day. I more and more, like, not even just physically, like, mentally, things that I, like, lost interest in that were, like, you know, I used to love to dance, and I used to, like, I didn't even find pleasure in, like, TV shows or reading or, like, any of the things I used to love to do. I remembered, like, laughing really hard at something last month and being like, I don't remember the last time I, like, laughed that hard before. Like, just all of these things shifted as soon as I got it removed. I started improving. Mirena Crash, different for everybody. It is real. Don't let doctors tell you it's not real. The Mirena Crash is basically your body gets dependent on the artificial progesterone in the IUD. So when you remove it, especially early, your body lags for making progesterone. So for me, it was sinus issues. Like, I felt like I had really bad allergies and a cold, and I was super dizzy and, like, had more physical side effects than the emotional, which I heard can also be a thing. So, like, if you're going through the Mirena Crash right now and you're experiencing an increase in anxiety or depression, like, that is also very common. But yeah, for me, it was just wild, like, physical symptoms, which, you know, during COVID-19 is not great, or, like, I'm just panicking, like, is this the Mirena Crash? Is this a cold? Is this COVID? I don't know. But for me, that sweet spot was 3 months. So 2 weeks ago was when everything just felt good, like, balanced. My hair is not falling out anymore. It fluctuated a bit after removal, and then it just stopped 2 weeks ago. I am holding my breath because I am at that sweet spot, like 3 months post hormone switch, like a true TE could start. And I'm really hoping it doesn't. I plan to come back on here in 3 months at the 6-month point and let you know. But, like, for now it's stopped. I see a lot of regrowth. Like, you can't really see it because of the lighting. I'm going to try and post pictures on the video of, like, before and after of the hair that was falling out, because, like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I got my ANA test redone, and it is back to normal, and all of my blood work is back to normal. And some of my doctors still refuse to acknowledge that the IUD could have caused this, even though there is a very clear correlation that 3 months after I got the thing out of me, I'm back to the way I was. I'm now a healthy 28-year-old. You know, I was a healthy 25-year-old when I got it placed, and then things just started spiraling. So that's my story. If you're here because of the Mirena and you're wondering if it's causing your side effects, it very well could be. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you my experience. If you're here because of Telogen Effluvium, it's gone longer than the 3 to 6 months than your doctors are telling you. You probably haven't found your trigger yet, or it's an ongoing trigger that you haven't corrected. And, you know, don't lose hope. I shed for 16 months of, like, handfuls of hair. I am shocked I am not bald, which I just don't understand the hair loss cycle at all. But, I'm going to post pictures so you guys get a better idea. But anyways, my point is, don't lose hope if you have TE and it's not letting up. Like, you just could have not found your trigger yet. And important to note, haven't been taking like any meds or I'm actually medication free for the first time in like over 10 years now. Like, so nothing of my improvement can be attributed to that. I exercise every day. I eat pretty healthy. I take just like a vitamin, like a multivitamin, and that's it. So again, my body just sorted its shit out in 3 months. And I hope that this is helpful for somebody out there, just one person even. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you. I'm so new at YouTube, but here I am. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry it was so long. I will be back with more updates. Bye.